Freeman Adjuman had a significant role in overcoming the fame and glory of the previous companion, Rose Tyler. When she joined Doctor Who in 2007, showrunner Russell T Davies decided that Martha Jones would pursue a similar relationship with the Doctor, but with a very different outcome. It's hard not to be dazzled by David Tennant's good looks and crazy hair. However, even Martha Jones could not help herself. In today's video, I will be exploring their complicated relationship and will tell the story of Martha Jones' Unrequited Love. Martha Jones was introduced to Doctor Who as a driven and motivated medical student who was stuck in the middle of a family who just couldn't get on. She had two worlds, saving lives and saving family crises. However, when the 10th Doctor swooped in to save the Royal Hope Hospital from Plasmavore and a platoon of Judoon upon the moon, Martha seemed to be wowed by his enigmatic presence. Their chemistry ignited immediately, with Martha following along perfectly and asking many important questions to the Doctor's approval. Fast forward a bit and the Doctor and Martha figured out what is happening and they're on the Plasmavore's tail. But they need to buy a bit of time so that the Judoon don't blunder in and ruin everything. To Martha's surprise, the 10th Doctor kisses her for approximately 7 seconds. Totally did not time that myself, citing this as a genetic transfer whatever, which admittedly did slow the Judoon down, it did, but Rose would have been fuming. She didn't even make it past the hugging or holding hand stage. Martha's just been fast-tracked to first base. Oh lord. The episode ends with these particular moments.
Well, you're the one that kissed me.
That was a genetic transfer.
And if you will wear a tight suit...
Now, don't.
And then travel all the way across the universe just to ask me on a date...
Stop it.
For the record, I'm not remotely interested.
It's very obvious to me, and I'm sure you guys as well, that she is in fact very interested and can't help but hide that fact embarrassingly. After all, he's a Time Lord and she's a human. In the Shakespeare Code, the Doctor and Martha are given a single bed to share, which the Doctor isn't phased about at all. Here, Martha makes a flirty joke and remarks that...
Hold up a bit then. Sorry, not much room. Us two here, same bed, tongues will wag.
The Doctor doesn't even acknowledge this and starts babbling about possible causes for the witchcraft present in the story. He then states that Rose would know and says that it's not Martha's fault because she's a novice. Finishes the conversation off by telling Martha that I'll take her home in the morning. Martha is clearly upset by this and rolls over, disgruntled by the Doctor's remarks. To make matters worse, during this piece of dialogue, the Doctor says that he's missing something, and it's really close, staring him in the face. Martha's facial expressions in this part of the scene shows that those words affected her in some way. It can be inferred that this is how she feels, invisible and unnoticed by the Doctor, despite her subtle attempts to gather his attention. It is clear to me by at least episode 2 that Martha has already begun to have feelings for the Doctor, is struggling with the fact that Rose is still on his mind. In Gridlock, Martha is appalled that the Doctor has taken her to the same planet that he took Rose to, and asks if he's ever heard of the word rebound. She storms off, clearly bothered by this. In Smith & Jones, the Doctor says that Martha wasn't replacing Rose. Here, Martha doesn't want to feel used by the Doctor to get over his grief, even if she doesn't know quite what happened to her. All she wants is to be seen as Martha Jones and not a Rose Tyler wannabe. She wants respect from the Doctor and to be acknowledged instead of being brushed aside because he can't get his ex out of his head. Daleks in Manhattan, Tallulah observes that it is very obvious that Martha likes the Doctor from the way that she looks at him. Martha responds by saying, not to him it's not. Martha is now opening up to people about how she feels and is self-aware of how the Doctor sees their relationship. Tallulah also suggests that he's into musical theatre. I believe that she thinks the Doctor is putting on a show and acting up in front of people. Now, what do you think she means? Put your thoughts down in the comments below, because I'm not too sure if that's quite true. At the top of the Empire State Building, Martha and Tallulah have another brief conversation where Martha mentions how the Doctor sees through her and has memories of Rose when she does anything. Literally anything. She seems frustrated at the fact that she is just a ghost in the Doctor's life. She wants to be noticed, but the Doctor still can't see past the images of Rose in the back of his mind. At the start of the Lazarus experiment, the Doctor drops Martha off home, saying that her one trip is over and it's time he moved on. This was all to Martha's disapproval, as she was rather excited to see where they were going, and now she's being thrown out. She states that things just escalated and gave him that love-struck look of hers to be once again ignored by the Doctor. You can see she longs to stay with the Doctor, but he isn't having any of it and awkwardly leaves her in her front room. Martha thanks him for leaving, with him saying it was his pleasure. The Doctor flies away in the TARDIS, leaving Martha to stare into the distance in wonder of what could have been. He promptly returns, having been intrigued by what Professor Lazarus had just said on the TV. At the end of the episode, the Doctor offers Martha one more trip, but she turns him down, saying that she doesn't want to be a passenger anymore. She wants him to see her more than just a treat. The Doctor responds by saying, "Okay, if that's what you want," in an unenthusiastic tone, which causes Martha to think she still isn't wanted. She is very unhappy about this and tells him to leave. The Doctor is confused and replies by saying he meant she could come with him, which Martha is relieved to hear and is ecstatic to join him once more. The Doctor concludes by saying she was never just a passenger, which you could infer as him saying that just for her sake. In 42, Martha is separated from the Doctor for the majority of the runtime and for once has to save his life. When the possessed Dev Ashton ejects the escape pod with Riley and Martha inside, Martha tells Riley that she believes in the Doctor. She has all the hope in the world that he will save them. The Doctor succeeds, but must pay the price and is now possessed by the Sun. Now it is Martha's turn to return the favour. Martha almost sees the Doctor die, who is scared that he might regenerate. She instills the hope in him that he gave her and declares that she won't leave him behind. It is her power and determination that pushes the crew to dump the fuel and give back the Sun what was taken. Even though she develops some feelings for Riley, I see this as an overflow of romantic tension that Martha has been feeling in the past episodes and needed releasing. This is the first of two occasions where Martha is put into a situation where she has to act completely independently without any help from the Doctor. Well, apart from the recorded messages, but anyway. When he becomes human to hide from the family of blood, the Doctor changes his persona completely into a school teacher named John Smith. Here, it is Martha's job to ensure he is safe from the family and isn't discovered. Whilst undercover, so to speak, the Doctor develops a romantic interest in matron Joan Redfern, to Martha's disgust. In response, she exclaims that he had to fall in love with another human. That wasn't her. She doesn't know what to do because falling in love was not included in his instructions. All she can do is watch it happen and not interfere. She is pretending to be a maid and it's not her role to get involved with these matters. When Captain Jack and the Doctor are reunited for the first time since the parting of the ways, Jack checks to see if Rose is still alive. Martha becomes understandably aggravated at another mention of Rose, once again reminding her that she isn't special. She has another outburst when Jack reveals that Rose was blonde. Whilst chatting to Martha, Chan Fo reveals that she has known Professor Yana for 17 years and that she doesn't think he noticed that she likes him. Martha replies with, "Tell me about it," showing that she feels exactly the same way about the Doctor. Now, in this episode, Chan Fo and Professor Yana is basically a reflection of the Doctor and Martha. It's literally a parallel of the two things that's been going on in this series. Literally, face to face, they are the same. This is the second occasion where Martha is left to fend for herself. When the Master takes over the Earth and keeps the Doctor captive, Martha walks the Earth telling stories about the Doctor so that they don't lose hope and can band together at the right moment to set the Doctor free. This shows the ultimate commitment from Martha, who put her life on the line to save the Earth and of all, the Doctor. When the Master is defeated, Martha confesses everything to the Doctor. At first she says she's leaving the TARDIS to look after her family, which is true. But she comes back again to explain the story about her friend. The Doctor at first looks confused and asks if the conversation was going anywhere. But when she talks about getting out because the love wasn't reciprocated, the Doctor finally understood and his face tells it all. She finally gathers the courage to express her feelings, but has the dignity to continue her friendship with the Doctor. She gives him her phone and says that when it rings, she expects him to come running. The series closes with this revelation, and once again, the Doctor moves on alone. Ultimately, he was blinded by his love for Rose, which, as a consequence, caused him to treat Martha rather awfully. However, I'm not too sure if he was doing it on purpose, or was he truly blinded by his love for Rose, which caused him not to notice her. I don't know. What do you think at home, guys? Put your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give a nice big like, but most importantly, subscribe to keep up to date with our latest content. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I shall see you next time. See ya!